Everyone, welcome to the 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia and I'm with you with the area of ABFM. That means Advanced Business and Financial Management. And today we'll be talking about the area of planning in detail. So let's understand the topic of planning further. When we talk about the functions of management, we are dealing with planning. Planning as a function. When we define planning as a function, what does it mean? In terms of planning, we have different kinds of plans. Let's talk about the different kinds of plan altogether. Okay, when we talk about the planning now, planning can be defined into different types. First is on the basis of its use. The plans which can be used over a long period of time. That means they remain the same for a very long period. They are called standing plans. For example, let's see, in terms of agriculture, we have just kept it like that. Agriculture is there with every single plan that India is introducing every year. Now 5-year plans are there, so with all those plans it is there like that. And when we talk about single use plans, it can be like launching of a new product. So once that product is launched, the term of that product is done, so then there is no need to reuse that plan, right? There is launching of a product. Then the next point is hierarchical plans. When we talk about the hierarchical plans, these are those plans which are based upon the hierarchy of the people there. The top level, middle level and lower level. When we talk about it, it's first based upon institutional, then is administrative and then is operating. And in terms of institutional plans, it refers to the plans which are related to the fact of the entire organization there. Administrative is basically based upon the middle levels because they are working on that area of whatever the execution of that plan is based upon. And the last one is operating. Operating is based upon the area that how the lower level of the management is exactly working. So this is based upon the lower level of management. So there are 3 plans: institutional, administrative, and the last one is operating. Then in terms of contingency plans, these plans are based upon the fact of uncertainty. If there would be a situation which is bad or which requires a specific attention, that would be called uncertainty. So contingency plans are those plans which would be implemented as soon as any uncertain event becomes certain and we are supposed to apply that. For example, mock drills for fire and fire drills and even earthquake drills. For example, recently Turkey has faced it. So there they conduct disaster management drills. Now they're called contingency plans. Then we talk about the organizational plans. It is basically based upon the functional plans are the ones which are related to the functions of management. That means the sales department, the administration department, every single department that they're working, they have this specific working. They're called functional departments. Then we have the business management in terms of the organizational plans which are based upon the business scenario. It is the one in which the organization is entirely working towards the development of their business altogether. Tacticals, and when they have tactics, when they are working upon the area of development of that particular organization in a tactical manner. Tactical means developing some strategies, how they are working upon it. That is what we define as the tactical plans. Then when we talk about the time frame, in terms of time frame, it would be short, medium and long. This is based upon the time duration. The ones which would be for a shorter period are the ones which are based upon shorter time. That means 1 year or 2 year, or it can be less than a year. Medium is basically 2 to 5 years, and then we have long, it would be more than that. So we can define the plans based upon these 3 different time limits. So there are different types of plans which are available in an organization. Now comes the next question. When we talk about this portion, let's come up with the MCQs based upon the questions that we have dealt. First of all, policies are the guide to thinking in organizing, decision making, forecasting or planning. Policies are basically what exactly? Policies are basically if the organization says that we have a credit policy, that if you want a particular loan, then 45-day credit would be available for you. The specified time is there, some specified conditions are there, and retirement policies, for example, in an organization, people are supposed to work for a specific period of time and then they would retire. So that particular thing is also there. So what is the answer there? Is it organizing, decision making, forecasting or planning? The correct answer that planning policies are the guide to thinking in is planning. In terms of the working, it is based upon decision making. When we talk about the policies now, hey, it has to be planning only. The correct answer is policies are guide to they are guide to thinking. And that is correct in terms of okay. There are different kinds of planning. There are different kinds of plans. Among plans, we have policies as well. So technically, it's a kind of plan only. But the fact is, it is guide to thinking in. What do we do? It is a guide to thinking in of decision making. For example, in terms of an organization, if a particular person comes and says that I have a retirement policy, people are going to retire at the age of 60 and above. So then 60-year time period is there. So after this particular time, people will retire. So how are they retiring and everything else is going on? So that is their decision making in terms of how are they retiring, what documentation are required internally, externally, what is to be done. That is all a part of this, right? Acha. Next question. It involves looking ahead and projecting the future course of action. See, the point is, in an organization, when we are working, we need to make sure that we are looking forward towards the future there. Let's find out what's going to happen tomorrow. For example, in terms of weather, don't we look forward to, if a big event is coming up, we'll always look forward to the fact what is going to be the weather at that point of time. Whether it would be a good weather or a bad weather, especially when we are having any outdoor major events for the organization, then we have to look forward to it. Is it organizing there, forecasting, controlling, or coordination? The correct answer here would be forecasting. Forecasting is basically looking into the future and anticipating the scenarios. We're going to look forward to how are we going to work upon all these things. So this is anticipation of the future. We are not going to take any advantage of it or anything else. We are just going to anticipate the future. And that's it. That is what we call as forecasting. Now, the planning process comprises determination and laying down of. Now, what does it exactly lays down? Does it lays out objective or policies or procedure or strategies or all of the above? When we talk about planning now, planning first of all gives the way towards forming of the objectives of the organization. First of all, what we'll make up is the goals or objectives that they're having. Then the second thing that they are having is policies. Policies is their internal framework which they prepare in which people are supposed to work. And if they define it step by step, we call it a procedure. That this is the step-by-step thing that you are supposed to do. So it's the procedure that the person has to follow. And the way through which you can achieve those objectives. Shadow of objectives is strategy. Right? So these are to be achieved whenever we are trying to reach our goal. So that is how we are looking forward to it. So in this case, planning process comprises determination and laying down of all of the above. It lays down everything among the following. That is all of the above is the answer. Then, which of this is not mentioned in the decision-making matrix? Analytic, behavioral, directive, or performance management? Which of the following is not mentioned in decision-making matrix? If we define it as decision-making matrix, the decision-making matrix is based upon the fact that how are we going to take the decisions regarding the resource allocation, how are we going to decide what are we going to do next in terms of the working. So it is analytical or behavioral or directive or performance management. It is based upon performance management. The correct answer is D. Next question. All other managerial functions are performed within the framework of the plans drawn. Identify the related feature of the planning. Planning focuses on achieving the objectives. Planning is pervasive. It is futuristic or the primary function of management. Isn't this based upon the post-corp? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, right? And then we have reporting and budgeting, which are extended functions of it. So when we talk about this area, it's talking about the fact that planning focuses on what? It focuses on achieving the objectives. This is basically goal-oriented process. It's a goal-oriented process, but this particular topic doesn't talk about that. It is all pervasive, that is required at every level and in every organization. Then planning is futuristic. If we say it's futuristic, it is something which is based upon whatever is going to happen in the upcoming time. Then planning is a primary function of management. In terms of primary function of management, it is the first function which leads to the other function. So technically, aren't we following the area of post-corp? That is planning, then we go towards organizing, then we go towards staffing, then we go towards directing, and then we go towards controlling, and then we move on, right? So it is based upon planning is a primary function of management. Now comes the next question. According to a survey of 250 consumer packaged goods companies by reputed firms, 75% of the brand owners say they are going to spend significantly more packaging as it is critical to their brand success. Right? So, some people require more packaging than some people, some occasions require less of packaging. Now, what part of it is they're talking about? Identify the type of plan being described in the above lines. Is it rule? Is it program? Is it the budget or the strategy? What is the correct answer in this question, everyone? See, when you're trying to achieve a specific goal, what are you trying to do? You'll prepare such a healthy packaging material that people will run towards it. They'll try to get the best out of it. That is what they'll prepare. So that is what they have a particular tactic which they will use. For example, if we talk about the gift hampers, what do they do in terms of the gift hampers? In terms of the gift hampers, the packaging is something which is really interesting. That is how they work upon it. That is what they define it. They call it the strategy there, the way of working. In terms of planning, now there are different kind of plans. As per a few plans, if I have to specify, one of them is budget. Budget is looking at whatever the pocket size is. What do we have in terms of our money? Then next is rule. This is to be done, this is not to be done. This is the simplest form of planning there. Then we have objective. Then we have, after objective, we have strategy. Then we have policy, program. Then we have procedure. And then we have method. These are different kinds of plans. Budget is when you look at your pocket, you decide how are we going to work. And then we have a simplest form of rule. That is what we define as rule. And then we signify and we define objectives. How are we going to achieve our goals? Then the next point is strategy. In terms of strategy is the way to achieve those goals. Then we have policy. Policy is something which I can define as the framework through which we work. And then we have a program. Program can be defined as the single use way of working. And the next is procedure. If we talk about procedure, procedure is the instructions that we are giving 1, 2, 3, 4. There are sequence wise steps that we are following, and method is the way of achieving those goals. So these are the different kinds of plans which are also followed. I've given you the plans in the beginning, and these are another kind of plans based upon various classifications. Yes, it is defined into various methods, but these are 8 different kinds of plans that we find in the tactical area. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Deepak is striving to earn a profit of 30% in the current financial year. Identify the type of plan being described in the above lines. Method, objective, strategy, and program. We did a similar kind of question in the last class. That means we define particular goal first and then we rush towards it. That is what we call as an objective. If the organization says that I would like to increase my profit by 40% in the next quarter, so if you're trying to increase your profit by the next quarter, we are building up an objective. Right? If I say that we would like to reduce our cost by 20% in the next year, this is also an objective. So that's a goal now that we would like to achieve. That is how we define objective. Next question. Shubham wants to increase the sale of his business by 15% in the next quarter. Again, they are trying to increase their business. The same question would go to the same answer, objective. So you can have n number of examples in this particular area, and the answer would be the same, as the topic or the concept is the same. So when you're preparing for the CAIIB examination, these are a few things that can be kept in mind. Okay. I'm sorry. So this is where I end my session for the ABFM today. For further details regarding our classes, if you're preparing and you're looking forward to something, that what you can do is you can check out our website for further details. But where do you need to go in order to check out the courses? What you need to do is you have to open up the JIB and CIB area, and in this area what you need to do is you have to click on the area of JIB and CIB. You can take up the CIB 2023 courses, just the new batches starting from 10th of February only. That means a new batch is coming up. If you're preparing and you would like to have live classes, then this is what you can take up. New target batch 4.0 would be starting from 10th of February. So kindly go ahead and check it out. All the classes, the timings are specified here. This would help you to study properly. So you can take up, the plans are also specified. All you can do is you can check out our website for the further details, or our app. What you need to do is you need to go to the area of the buy now. This includes all the classes, but this is all only about the syllabus, right? So if you're looking forward to 19.77, or if you would like to take up the courses, what you can do is you can also take up the CAIB Kamaha pack, which would include not only the syllabus class but also the classes related to just a second, let's open it up. Related to the area of revision batches. Then we have the MCQ batches, case study batches, numerical batches, power pack batches. Whatever we introduce for the next 6 months, it would be visible to you. In fact, our CIP Kamaha pack includes all the electives as well. Whatever elective that you would like to opt for, be it rural banking, HRM, IT, digital banking, risk management, or central banking, whatever you would like to take up. So 500 hours of classes, 45 test series, 380 videos, as well as 84 ebooks. Everything is available for you in this particular area. So if you're looking forward to it, all you need to do is go to the area of buy now, click on it. You can use the code by541 and you can apply it. It would cost you 8279.08 for 6 months validity. So hurry up and check it out, or in our website or in our app.